when people talk about like vacating like their belts or their titles, like what does that mean necessarily? Like help me understand for Boxing for Dummies.
Look, after the Lipinets fight,
yes.
I was the IBF champion, but I was still holding the WBC lightweight championship. The IBF, under their rules, again, had a mandatory title defense right away against, I forget his name. I honestly, I'm sorry, but I just don't even know his name. And they wanted me to fight my mandatory right away. Well, then I started looking at what options were available, if I had any better options other than fighting the mandatory. No one really knew the mandatory. No one knows that guy. If I fight him and I beat him, everybody talk shit. Well, who the fuck is this guy? Why'd you fight him?
Wow.
Because it's a mandatory.
So this is like the behind the scenes. Yeah, this is kind of like when...
I'm looking to see if there's other options. We were able to secure Robert Easter unification at lightweight. So what did I do? I vacated the IBF 140-pound title because it was not in my interest to get to fight for that title and defend that title when I have a better option elsewhere.
Okay,
and that's
so
why I went with Robert. So I vacated that title. Now that guy gets to fight for a vacant title. Well, I don't know if he already did or I mean, he's supposed to fight for a vacant title now. I think that works for him. If he had fought me, who knows? Maybe he would have lost. Maybe he would have had a good fight. Maybe who knows? You know. But at least now he still gets a title shot. You know.
Because you vacate.
So I vacated. You know, I had a better option fighting Robert Easter.
So these are the variables then that come into play when you have a mandatory. Like right now you have a mandatory, but really who's to say what's really going to happen?
¿Dejamos la traila, güey?
¿Aquí el rancho?
¿O para ir por el carro?
Sí, dejamos aquí en el rancho.
¿Aquí en el rancho? ¿No la ocupas allá?
Pues si quieres, o tú quieres, te damos aquí.
¿Tú dónde la quieres? ¿Allá?
Allá.
Vamos pues una vez para allá, pues entonces. Vamos para allá. Now, sometimes you vacate the title, or some fighters, or some instances have, you know, some fighters have vacated the title for other reasons. Let's say when, let me think, Canelo fighting Cotto.
Mm-hmm.
Cotto had the WBC title, 160-pound. Canelo was going to challenge for the title, right? So, sanctioning bodies, every title charges a percentage. 3% off your guaranteed purse. Okay? So let's just, for easy numbers, okay? Let's say you're making $1 million. That means for every belt that you hold, you're gonna pay 3%. 3% is $30,000 just for having that title, okay? Every time you fight for a title, every time you defend the title, that's what you pay. So Cotto, being that it was gonna be a big fight for him, I can't remember his guarantee. Could have been 5 million, could have been 10 million, could have been whatever number. Okay, but let's just say $1 million. He didn't want to pay the 3%. He said, I don't need to, you know, I was already champion. I don't care if I'm defending the title or not. So he vacated his title to avoid paying that sanctioning fee. Canelo paid the sanctioning fee, so he got to fight for that title. So when he beat Cotto, Canelo did earn his title. If Canelo had opted to not pay that sanction fee, then the title would have been vacant. Nobody would have won the title. But Canelo obviously paid for his portion of the sanction fee, and he earned that title. Cotto had vacated that title. Because he didn't want to pay the sanction fee, he vacated the title.
Wow.
When you're talking about big sums of numbers, as far as the Canelo numbers, the Cotto numbers, Mayweather numbers, those are large numbers that you're talking about. 3%, I mean, if they're making $5 million guaranteed, that's $150,000 that you're going to pay that sanctioning fee.
Just to have the belt.
Just to hold the belt up, you know? That's a lot of money. You make $10 million, you know? It's a lot of money.
That's the next
No,
business
that's
we need to go into. We need to go into the belt business.
$300,000.
So there's
There's a fly in here.
I'm gonna get him out.
So that's why some fighters also decide or just, you know, opt to just vacate the title. Once you're at a certain point, there it is.
Oh wait.
Once you're at that level where you're making that kind of money, then sometimes it's okay to vacate because you don't really need the belt at that point anymore, you know. But every time you fight for a title, every time you defend a title, you have to pay.
Wow.
You're
Okay.
3% off your guarantee. It's not free. The belts are not free. You got to pay. It's a sanctioning fee. You want to be recognized as a champion, you got to pay your fee every time you get in the ring with a belt. Now, if you have 3 belts, 2 belts, 3 belts, 4 belts, you got to pay that percentage to each one.
For every fight?
For every fight.
Wait, so if you
So
have 4
if you have-
belts,
if you
you're
have-
paying a percent?
If you have 3 belts, okay? If you have 3 belts and you're making $1 million, okay? $1 million. That means you're gonna pay $30,000 to each one of those belts. You got 3, that means you're gonna pay $90,000 off your $1 million purse. You're gonna have to pay $90,000, $30,000 to each one of those 3 belts. You got 4 belts, motherfucker, add another $30,000 to that. Actually, yeah, 30,000. You're right.
So you hear that? That's some good.
Nobody
That's some
knows
good
that.
knowledge for boxing
Not a
for
lot-
dummies.
not a lot of people know that.
3%. If you were to vacate a belt, or no, it's 3%.
If you defend or fight for a title, you have to pay your percentage.
Wow.
Now, at some level, you might be able to negotiate a little bit. For example, the time that I went up to fight Lipinets, okay? The WBC again allowed me that voluntary title fight at 140. But in order to hold my place as champion at 135, we needed to ask them for permission. So you still have to, you know, ask, because they have, like I said, they have their own rules, their guidelines, and they want you to fight for, you know, defend their title against their mandatory or against one of their top 10 contenders. And then this time I was going up to 140 to challenge for a different sanctioning body, for an IBF, you know. So we had to ask WBC, and they agreed that I'd be able to do that, and we agreed on a, you know, smaller fee to kind of pay to, you know, allow me to hold my title. It just, you have to do it. I'm sure Mayweather never paid the percentage. You know, he paid maybe a flat fee or something to do it, because when you're making that kind of money, there's no way he's gonna pay a percentage off of whatever he's making in total.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about him too. I was like, wow, I wonder what he did. Yeah.
And a lot of other fighters don't even care for the belts at that point, and you just vacate the titles. And I don't care for it. You save that money, you know. I mean, you're talking about, you know, say you're making $5 million a fight, you know, and you got 2 belts, you know, that's $150,000. You know, it's a lot of money.